Hello everybody, welcome back to Simulated Heaven, and we are in a new simulator game. Well, that's what they claim it to be. I was looking at Desura. That is a platform that I use to find out about new games. They do have some pretty good indie games from time to time, and I saw this game. It's called Proving Grounds 2014, and they call it a simulator game. They say that, imagine if you were a test driver for some company and you had access to all these amazing cars and you could just drive forever. This is the simulator for you, was essentially what they were saying. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. And I also felt a service to all of you guys. This is why I have this channel, to show you guys some of these simulator games that exist. As you can see, the game is made by a company called Polygon Simulations. Now, I believe this game is made in the Unity engine, but don't quote me on that. As you can see, the menu is very sparse. The launcher of the game allows you to configure some keys, like the key bindings, and it allows you to play around with the graphics a little bit. Now let's see what kind of cars we have, because literally the menu, all it lets you do is choose a car and go to test drive it or quit. There are no options in the game at all. So let's see. We have the GTI _ XX, which looks remarkably like a Volkswagen Golf. I don't know why they've put this weird texture on the bumper of all the cars. I don't know why they did that. Anyway, then we've got this, which is just called a CX16, which looks like a Jaguar or Aston Martin to me. That's a quick guess. The FX1B, which looks exactly like a Ferrari. The P1 mod, which looks exactly like a sports car that I can't remember the name. Is it a Bugatti Veyron, I think? This is just called Dad's Favourite, which looks like, you know, some kind of classic car, maybe a bit like a Triumph, an old Triumph. We got this one, MD101, which, what does that look like? I suppose it looks a bit like a Mercedes. In fact, it is a Mercedes. It looks like a Mercedes, I mean. And this looks like a Mercedes 4x4. I think they have a 4x4 that looks like that. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, let's start with the first vehicle, GTI X. I'll make other videos for different vehicles, but you guys will see what this game is like. Here we go. So, what do you see first of all? Now, what you'll see is the interior graphics are actually not that bad. They kind of work okay. You can already see there's some kind of a glitchiness with the graphics. Some of the textures are flickering. I'm going to turn on the traction control. I believe that's turned on, and also ESP. I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to turn everything on and you'll see why later. Now, the actual modelling of the car is again not that bad. I would say that the modelling of the cars is probably the best feature of this game. Yeah, and you'll kind of see what I mean. Now, like I said, the launcher of the game allowed me to choose some of my own key bindings, and it also allows you to do an axis. So I'm using my steering wheel, and my steering wheel works fine for the steering. You see, it does actually work for the steering, not too bad. However, for some reason, when I try to do my pedals, the pedals don't work for the accelerator. So I've had to, at the moment, use a key for the accelerator. So let's go forward. And I was having a bit of a problem. Oh, there you go. So I now have accelerator here, and I have brake. Now, as you can see, the graphics are also a bit jerky. Now, it makes me wonder if this happens a lot when someone tries to make a game in the Unity engine and they try to make it quite kind of complex. I could be wrong, but that is kind of my impression, because as you can see, I mean, I'm running the game actually at 1080p, and not only that, I've had to put the graphics quality on fastest in the launcher, and it still looks a little bit jerky, not great. As you can see, it does, the frames are not very smooth at all, but as you can see again here, the actual modelling of the car is not that bad. Now let's see. Oh, hang on, let's show you this view. No, it's just not gonna update the view. Interesting. Okay, so let's go. Let's try to do a bit of driving. Now, the reason I turned on all of the aids, now it looks like the mirrors don't really work, or is that just glare? Now, you can really see the jerkiness of the graphics as I speed up. Now, I'm going to go on the 12-mile loop. Here we go. Now, I'm going to take it nice and easy, and you will see why. The game sounds are pretty poor. Let's go outside to show you again. I mean, the graphics of the environment are actually not too bad. If they can, whoops, if they can stop the game from being quite glitchy, or if they can actually make the graphics smoother and less glitchy, the graphics are actually not too bad. But the number one thing they need to change, in my opinion, is they need to change the handling of the cars. Now, I'm using a wheel. Now, I think they need to improve the steering wheel support, because this is a driving game after all, and you would assume that people would want to use steering wheels. And again, the graphics are really going jerky, as you can see. For some reason, I don't know why this is. I mean, I have a decent gaming computer, so I would dread to think what it's like if you don't have that. So yeah, they need to sort out the graphics, they need to sort out the handling, because the handling of the cars is really not very good at all. I have no force feedback on my steering wheel, so like I said earlier, they need to improve the support for steering wheels, because as you can see, it's not easy for me to drive with this steering wheel, so that they need to give us force feedback, and they need to allow us to easily assign pedals, and I don't know, they need to just make the feeling that you get from driving the steering wheel a lot better. But the car handling is by far the worst part of this game, because it just feels like there's no feeling at all. The cars will spin. I mean, it doesn't help that in some corners the graphics just go really jerky. So they need to work on a lot. And right now, I mean, I actually paid $19.99 US for this game, and it is not worth half that. I would say right now this game is worth maybe $5. And I mean, I think I'm being fair. I think if you have a look at this gameplay, I think I'm being fair. I think there are people out there who, if they have paid this kind of money, would not be happy. There is actually a demo available on Desura. You can install the demo. Now here is a moment where the game seems alright, you see? But then when it gets all glitchy again and like slow, kind of jerky graphics, and look at that. Wow. Craziness. It's just, there seems to be literally no physics at all. But this is an example of what, you know, this is like one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I want to be a resource for simulator games. There's not that many people out there who are actually making these kind of simulator games. At making them, I mean reviewing them. There's not many out there who are reviewing these kind of simulator games, especially something like this, which is very small, very obscure. There's also a lot of these kind of games on Gamersgate as well, for example, and I try and review these kind of obscure simulator games so that you guys kind of know what you are letting yourself in for. Like, there's lots of people that might see this game. Like, it's actually kind of hilarious. Like, before this game was released, it actually had, see that? What is that? It actually has a 9.7 review score on Desura. People were like reviewing it before it actually came out and were like, yeah, this game looks awesome. Because the videos, like, if you have a look at the trailer of this game, if you go to YouTube and you type in Proving Grounds 2014, I think the only video that you'll see is the trailer for this game, which makes the game seem really awesome. It really bigs up the game, and as you can see, the game does not follow through. So I'm just hoping the developer of this game actually does update the game. Now, this would be really, really criminal if now the game was not updated and if they just kind of left it. Then I would be saying avoid this game and avoid the developer at all costs. However, if they do stick with it and they try to update it and they try to improve some of the things I was talking about, I mean, I would say they need to halve the price. I say that they need to say it's an alpha build, you know, and they need to half it at least to get, you know, people like to actually buy into the concept. Because right now, excuse me, it is really not worth the kind of money that they're asking for it at all. You know, you know, this is one of the situations where I'm feeling, you know, I have a duty like to buy this game, and even though it cost me $20, I feel like I have a duty to show you guys what this is like, this game, you know. Anyway, now why I don't understand why that view won't update, but it's not completely terrible. It's, you know, I'm not going to say that this game is completely terrible. It's actually not that bad, but they need to work on it a lot. In this form, it's not going to be very successful. They just add a few more features. Now, Test Drive Unlimited 2 was an awesome game. I have many hours in that game, and I cruised in that game a lot with my friends. It was really fun. They could try and turn this game into like a cruising game eventually. They could add multiplayer, they could improve the handling and the physics. You know, there is some potential there, but right now I would not recommend any of you to go out and buy this game unless it's at a greatly reduced price. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I will of course leave a link in the description below. You can go try out the demo and form your own opinions. That's always important. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.